All right. So blue jay right here, and just so that you know that blue jays and bluebirds, of course, are two different birds. Blue jays you'll find more in the forest. Blue birds you'll find more in open clearings, like by your ground school. Next to that field would be a perfect place to put a bluebird house or one of those. Remember the Gilbertson box that I showed you? So blue jays are bossy birds. They don't take off in the winter at all. They stick around all winter. They tend to boss around other birds, so they are kind of known as, when they get alarmed or scared, other birds really pay attention to that. They might pay attention to the chickadees, but they really pay attention to the blue jays. You can see they kind of have like a little black mask that goes over their face, that little bridle. Some people think that's how they tell each other apart, because that's not always the same. Males and females look very similar. They can, again, they're really smart, so they can make other bird calls. So just like I have a little gadget here that'll make bird calls, they can make their own bird calls. A lot of times they'll mimic the red-shouldered hawk. No one knows exactly why they'll do that, but they think it's either to scare away other birds and just to pretend that they're a big scary hawk, or yeah, I really don't know why they do it, but they do. And their alarm call is that jay, jay, jay. It's a really loud sound. If you have blue jays around, usually they'll make that alarm call because they're freaked out from us. So blue jays are common, but they're pretty cool birds to keep track of. Really smart. They figure things out pretty quickly. And again, if you ever have time to YouTube some videos, not on blue jays, but on crows, there's all sorts of really neat things about how crows will figure out how to use. There's one in Japan where crows will drop nuts into a busy intersection and let trucks and cars crush the nuts for them. And then they even wait for the lights to change color, and then they'll swoop down and grab the nut while it's safe, and then they'll fly up and they'll do it all over again. So kind of some neat stuff out there for crows. And these guys in the wild haven't been shown to use tools, but in the lab they've documented blue jays actually fashioning like a little kind of a sweeping hook out of newspaper. Like if they're in a cage and there's birdseed outside their cage, that they can fashion a little tool out of newspaper to grab the seed and pull it in. So they're pretty smart little guys, but just a regular old blue jay. Oh, and you found another one, goldfinches. So I don't know if you guys get thistle around here. You'll know if you get thistle. It gets really tall, really prickly, Canada thistle especially. These guys, goldfinches, American goldfinches, love thistle. That is their main food. In fact, it's such a big deal for them that they don't bother building a nest until the very end of summer, right when thistle is out. And there's actually some studies out there that show that if you put American goldfinches in with a room that has thistle flowers and a room that doesn't have thistle flowers, the ones that have the thistle flowers around them, that their testes actually grow larger just being around that thistle. It's a really important thing for them. So they get turned on by that thistle. So next time you see thistle flowers, you can just know that goldfinches are getting turned on. And that seed is really important for them to feed their young. So right now there's no thistle flowers out there, so all the yellow goldfinches that are out there, they are just all buddies with each other. But as soon as that thistle comes out, they all get super territorial. They make their nests and mate. They don't keep their pretty gold color all winter. They will turn kind of to a drab, kind of brownish color, yellowish brown for the winter time. And then that's another good sign of spring once they've turned back to yellow. So good job.